All right, so I'm Beck Lane. How do you do? And this is Catalyst and Company. Catalyst and Company, where my glasses are always dirty, my hair is a mess, and I've almost never showered. But it's also where we work at being the artists we've always wanted to be. Now, I've been dealing with something on Facebook primarily, but here in Sarasota that actually a number of people know about now, but it's really been bothering me because out of the hundreds and hundreds of people that I've had to deal with over this issue, only 2 or 3 have said, yeah, but, and those are the comments that get to me. What's happening is, as I've talked about in other videos, we actually lost something here in Sarasota called Ave of Art. And it was, I've talked about this endlessly for 2 months because it was actually the end of August. I think they ended up destroying everything by the 2nd of September. It was Labor Day weekend a few months ago. October, November. Yes, it was 2 months ago this weekend that the city of Sarasota was grinding up our sidewalks with 300 painted illustrations on them. And I was one of 200 artists that worked on this project. It was heartbreaking. It was not for me personally, like, oh, they destroyed my artwork. I can do this shit all day long. I can replicate the artwork, I can make it better and fine tune it, and I actually really enjoy sometimes refining because I know what I've done wrong or felt I've done wrong the first time. I can do it again and again and again and again. My artwork isn't the thing that's made me so sad I still cry over it. It was the effect it had on the organizer, Denise Cowell, and her fiance, Bill Baranowski, who worked tirelessly on Ave of Art, as well as Chalk Fest International. International Sarasota Chalk Festival. That's where this was kind of birthed. And it's a long story that I won't get into because I tell long enough stories as it is. But anyway, Denise and Bill had birthed Ave of Art. And over a 4-year period, it grew from just a few things on the sidewalk and mosaics, Denise's mosaics that were put in 18 years ago. Those were incorporated as well. It went from this small project to, 200 international artists and around 300 painted illustrations, as I said. And the project was actually supposed to expand and go up the bike path and throughout the city. It was planned on being a very big deal, but then our little Ronnie DeSantis, Governor Kittenheels, took offense to rainbow crosswalks, and had every single one but one in the city, in the state destroyed. And Ave of Art is one of the projects that got swept up in this effed up, actually kind of pretty illegal little destruction of artwork for many different reasons, which I've been working on for months, like building the case. And it actually only took me a couple weeks to build a solid case. But I was working with, when it happened, I was working with a team of artists, a team of people, Denise and a team of other people here in Sarasota, helping to build another section of the case. Like there's multiple layers. Anyway, they were building one piece, another woman was building another piece. We were all working together. And I got a phone call from, I wanted to call her a friend, but now we'll just call her a parasitic acquaintance. So PA, the Parasitic Acquaintance, God, I honestly and truly thought we were friends. I swear to God, I thought we were friends. Turns out I didn't know her. I didn't know her character. So we're going to call her the PA, the Parasitic Acquaintance. So Little Miss Parasitic Acquaintance called me. We'd been talking about her repping me. And she said a couple things where I went, yeah, this isn't going to work. She doesn't understand the value of me. She wants to devalue me. And she spent a lot of time putting me down. So I went, not going to work. I wanted to get one focus is getting shown in museums, which are in distress now. And the last thing she said to me that put the nail in the coffin on the repping thing was, "Oh, you're not ready for museums. Your work isn't ready for museums." Well, that's not true. That's actually very far from the truth. It's just her understanding of how to make that work was limited, and she didn't want to do the work involved in getting me there or getting it in. Like I have actually had work in museums, but I want to do solo shows and events. I want to do artist residencies and stuff in museums. So anyway, she got a hold of me and she said, "I want to volunteer. I want to help with whatever you're doing for Ave of Art." And I thought, great. And we talked for a little while, and I thought, oh, this is great. So I called my friend Denise up and I said, look, I got this woman we now call Parasitic Acquaintance. I'm going to write that down so I don't forget, because that's actually really funny. Parasitic Acquaintance. Parasitic Acquaintance. I don't want to forget that one. It's kind of cracking me up now. Anyway, Parasitic. I said I have someone named Parasitic Acquaintance, Ms. Parasitic Acquaintance, who would like to volunteer and help with us. And she was like, oh, great. And I go, you can trust her. She's got a lot of energy. She's very focused. And so she came on board. Parasitic Acquaintance, within a couple weeks, had started arguing with everybody, or not started, almost started with, I think she started within a week of arguing with everyone, putting everyone down. Within 2 weeks, she was taking documents. She took control of documents. She was rewriting them. She was putting her name on them. And from there, she started harassing artists. She was calling artists. We asked, she had talked about it, and we said, don't do it. Please, let's get our ducks in a row first. Well, Parasitic Acquaintance went and started calling artists. She started downloading their information and calling artists that nobody knew who she was. She's calling, and she's emailing, and she's texting, and she's getting a hold of artists and saying, I'm the case manager. I kid you not. We went from I'd like to volunteer to I'm in charge of everything. So Parasitic Acquaintance was sending out emails saying I'm the case manager. She set up a newsletter, which was fine, so we could kind of keep an eye on the activities, but it was all stuff that we kept saying, please don't do. We need to get our ducks in a row first. And you don't know these people. You don't know a single human being involved in this beyond me, beyond Beck Lane. That's it. So that continued. She just kept doing it. When artists didn't respond, and she ended up contacting Parasitic Acquaintance, ended up contacting artists not only in Ave of Art, but Chalk Fest, because she didn't know who anybody was. So now we have hundreds of artists that she has been told not to contact, who she's contacting, and nonstop. This is 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And at some point, and these documents that she kept changing and, grabbing and calling her own, it's insane. And thank God I thought to screenshot everything, because I have endless screenshots where she's, it's Parasitic Acquaintance edited this, Parasitic Acquaintance deleted this. She would delete things that people put up. Put in this file sharing program that she set up because she wanted to have total and complete control. So Anyway, it just kept escalating from there. And every time we said, please don't do this thing, Parasitic Acquaintance went ahead and did it. Okay, sorry, I just got a message from somebody I was worried about. So Parasitic Acquaintance just has been ramping up and ramping up and ramping up and just acting like a little Trump. Tell me not to do something. I'm going to do that times 1,000. And it's been awful and ugly. Now, we went from, Denise being severely traumatized, Bill being severely traumatized because Avenue of Art was right around them. She owns a part of a block in Burn Square where Avenue of Art happened and Chalkfest happens. And the destruction went on from 6 in the morning on every morning around Labor Day. It was actually 2 weeks, but it intensified over Labor Day weekend, and they just ground this shit down. There was sidewalk and cement inside of her buildings, inside of the businesses that rent from her. It was up in her boutique hotel in the Airbnbs or boutique hotels, whatever they are. She was breathing it in. It was in her apartment, her and Bill's apartment. It was just really insidious and going throughout the neighborhood. This was just a complete and utter destructive violation of Denise, of Burn Square, of the businesses there, as well as the artwork and the community. There were people who were absolutely devastated, who were just allies of Avenue of Art. So little Ms. Parasitic Acquaintance, at one point, it goes on and on, she did some things that were really vile, and I heard a conversation, I was sitting with my friend Denise when a phone call went on where Parasitic Acquaintance was screaming at my friend. And I have since heard that Parasitic Acquaintance is like, Denise was abusive to me. Denise was screaming at me. I was sitting right there when this happened. I was sitting right there in the car with my friend when this happened. We were coming back from St. Pete where we had meetings with, we had been at a meeting with city commissioners and art organizations and artists and actually the city lawyers. There were a few dozen people involved. So we were coming back, and my friend called Parasitic Acquaintance, and Parasitic Acquaintance was like, you shut up, you listen to me, you listen to me, you listen to me, just like screaming into the phone at the woman that founded Avenue of Art. And it has not gotten any better since. In fact, Denise was so devastated. My friend was so devastated at that point that she had to block Parasitic Acquaintance. And it has just escalated. Parasitic Acquaintance, Ms. Parasitic Acquaintance, Ms. PA, set up a Facebook page that was called Avenue of Art. She changed it after a while. She figured out, oh, maybe this isn't, this might be illegal. So anyway, she changed it to Sarasota Sidewalk Art and kept that for a while. And then I just started, that was it. I was done. I was fucking done. So I started hammering away at that on Facebook. To the point Parasitic Acquaintance then had to change it to Sarasota Sidewalk Murals, which is the page she still has up now. She has garnered something like 300 and some odd followers on that page, but it's her. They're not necessarily people that are following her. It's people that she's just decided are going to join her page. And if she sends you a invitation, you click on it, you have joined. I don't know how it works. I'm pretty good at stuff. This one I can't figure out because I kept getting invitations and I kept ignoring them. And somehow I would go to take a shower. I'd get out of the shower and I'd get a notification. You have joined Parasitic Acquaintances, Ms. Parasitic Acquaintances Sarasota Sidewalk Murals. And I would unjoin. And then I get dressed and I joined again. I mean, this happened for days. And finally I was like, okay. Okie dokie. You have bolted me to a front row seat to your absolute narcissistic nonsense. So I'm going to stay right here. And that's what I've done. I've blocked her Facebook page. Somehow it became unblocked. I don't know how. I blocked her again, unblocked. Blocked her again, unblocked. Okay. I got a front row seat to your selfishness, your narcissism, and your absolute chaotic nonsense. Thank you. So now, and plus I have people that keep sending me screenshots of the bullshit she sends out in newsletters and texts and using different names. She apparently has, Parasitic Acquaintance apparently has 6 different names that she goes by, which is something I've really avoided mentioning in public. But she has just kept ratcheting things up, and now it's, oh, it's been for months. I can save you. I'm the Great White Knight. 40 artists have joined me one day, and the next day it's 32 artists have joined me in a lawsuit against the city and against the state. And then she lays out all this information that other people wrote way back in the beginning. A woman named Lori and a couple of other people we added, anyway, she keeps using information that other people had gotten. And she's like, look what I did. I did all this work. And Parasitic Acquaintance, actually, it's so insidious that the other day she set up a LinkedIn page, Sarasota sidewalk murals, and was bad-mouthing me on it because I love this one. Well, I got a hold of Beck Lane and I got a hold of Beck Lane and invited her to work with me, which is actually the exact opposite of what happened. And I have all the files, I have all the records to prove. So Parasitic Acquaintance, apparently, according to her, invited me to work with her on this case that she knew nothing about, that she has no association with, and she knows no one involved. Doesn't actually know anyone involved at all. So Parasitic Equation wrote this on LinkedIn, and it was, let me see, I invited Beck, and Beck invited 3 of her friends, but they didn't, I'm trying to remember, a couple of people sent me screenshots of this stupid fucking conversation, so I went and found it, and I've just been holding it in. But Parasitic Acquaintance, I invited Beck, and Beck invited 3 of her friends, but they didn't want to do any work. They just want to take all the glory or get all the attention or something. Meanwhile, we're doing stuff, but it's quietly behind the scenes. We're doing it prudently. We're not putting the cart before the horse, or whatever analogy you want to use. Parasitic Acquaintance, on the other hand, has been out there now for a month and a half going, look at me, look at me, look at me. I have this top law firm. I have another top law firm. All these top lawyers in the United States are lining up to talk to me about, let me see, what is it? 135 artists and 300 pieces of work, or 300 artists and 200 pieces of work. I mean, every day the numbers that she's, she announces to the world she's in charge of changes. So it's inconsistent, and it's really weird, and it's awful, and it's ugly. She has been served a cease and desist order and has refused to follow that. She's laughed about it actually on Facebook. Again, we have all the screenshots and we have all the files. So she's laughed about that. She's badmouthed the organizers, the original. She's badmouthed me to no end. I don't give a shit. But she's also badmouthed the Ave of Art artists. And the point is, I mean, when she came to me originally and explained what she was going to do, I think it was within, I'm trying to remember, it was like within a few days or a week after joining our little team that was working together, Parasitic Equation said, or sorry, Parasitic, she is the equation, Parasitic Acquaintance said, well, my goal is, because we couldn't figure out, when her bad behavior started up, we couldn't quite figure out what she wanted. And what she wanted was to get artists, Ave of Art artists, to sign a contract with her. She didn't just tell me, she told other people. To sign a contract with her so she could get a portion of their settlement. I'm going to represent you. She can't represent Dick. She's made phone calls. So have I. Emails, other things. Other people have as well. Emailing people. We've talked to law firms across the country, across the state and across the country. We've talked to lawyers in town who've been kind of helpful, but won't have anything to do with it. So, Parasitic Acquaintance told several of us, I want to have artists sign a contract so I can be their rep. And the end goal being, as she has stated, she would get a portion of whatever settlement they got at any point in time. Or then it changed to, oh, no. Then she started saying online, hiding that fact, and then saying online, well, once a settlement comes, you can give me a few dollars if you want, if you so choose. I mean, it was really gross. The tone and the language has fluctuated a bit. Now she's not mentioning, how she's going to grab money out of you online, but I understand from artists that that's the end goal, still the end goal. She's not mentioning it to people. But, so if you go to Sarasota Sidewalk Murals, you can join, you can follow her. She has over 300 members. A lot of them have nothing to do with her, don't know who she is. People keep contacting me complaining about her behavior, about her parasitic behavior, about her harassing them, because she went from harassing or badgering or contacting the Ave of Art artists and Chalkfest artists to their friends. And any acquaintance they might have on Facebook, any connection that she saw, that Ms. PA saw as being helpful or valuable. I know with my friend group, and I've heard this dozens and dozens and dozens. I mean, we're running into the hundreds now of times. People who don't know don't know that she's even pretending to be involved with Ave of Art have contacted us. They don't know who she is. It gets really dark. So anyway, that's what I've been dealing with for 2 months, and it's been really hard to promote artwork, to do anything. I'm not painting. I can't. I've got this, we're dealing with a world that the administration is intentionally burning down, but we're dealing with it on a macro level as well as tiny little micro levels. And every day that Ms. PA pops her little head up or commits some act, I hear about it, and it's driven me to a state of depression for a few days. And then I go, I can't let it go. If I just let her run rampant, as 2 or 3 people have suggested, just, let her do what she's doing. The other artists are adults. They can pick and choose which side they're on. It's not really about, red team, blue team. It's about, not warning artists that they're being used. I think as artists, we're so used to being used and devalued and treated like we're nothing but a commodity to other people. We've kind of learned to go along with it in a lot of ways. Like, we don't have any options. We do have options. And this is one way I show people that you are not that you are worth more than being devalued and used up by parasites. Something we've been talking about for almost 13 years now, talking about our value. So I think it's really important that we stick with that. So now it's 25 minutes. This could be a podcast. This really could. The shit that has been pulled by Ms. Parasitic Acquaintance. It's just been awful. It's been really awful. So you can find Ms. Parasitic Acquaintance under Sarasota Sidewalk Murals on Facebook, as well as LinkedIn. Like, who the fuck uses LinkedIn anymore for anything? But okay. But if you write a comment, she has complete control. She's the administrator over there as well, so she will just delete it. I just want to get the word out, especially to Avenue of Art, to the community, to people that supported Avenue of Art, who still support Avenue of Art and support Chalkfest as well as its founders. Founders Denise Cowell, who's been doing Chalkfest for 18 years in spite of this stupid city. And Bill Baranowski, who has really worked his ass off for Avenue of Art and does work his ass off for artists all around the community. So you can go find Sarasota Sidewalk Murals. Please. Every day she garners new followers and tons of praise. Meanwhile, people haven't known what she's really been up to. So I've laid out some of it here. But the shit she's pulled, it's been heartbreaking. Absolutely fucking heartbreaking. She threatened me with, first, like a cease and desist order. For what? I don't even mention your full name. Or the 5 other ones that you use. Or the things that had national news that would completely destroy her. I haven't mentioned that publicly. I have gotten contacted by journalists, though, about it. And we've just decided to hold off on that. Because that could really hurt. That could really be the breaking point for her. I mean, I don't know if she's going through a mental health crisis. I'm not being hyperbolic. She could be going through a mental health crisis, but this is apparently what she has been doing for decades, and I've now heard from multiple artists that they're scared of her. So we haven't reached the level of national news problem in 2012, or national news in 2012. But it's really not that hard to Google and put together. Anyway, I'm Beck Lane. Stand up for yourself. Stand up for your community today. Do not allow parasitic acquaintances to take over your life as an artist. Don't. And if they try, fight the fuck back. Ciao. Ciao. Boink, boink, boink. Meow, meow, boink.